Her follows emotionally withdrawn divorcee writer Theodore Twombly, played by Joaquin Phoenix, who develops a romantic relationship with his AI computer operating system, named Samantha, voiced by Scarlett Johansson. The film takes place in the not-too-distant future, where, in addition to the love story, it explores the social implications of the rise of social media. This movie was remarkably well written. Everything from the dialogue to the pacing to the character motivations, etc. It follows through with the key in telling a good love story. We care about the two individuals concerned. Theo's an interesting grouping of contrasts. He's someone who fears real human interaction, yet he's wooed by Samantha's desire to become more like a human. His job entails writing emotional letters on behalf of other people, more on this later, but he's completely unable to emote for himself, the reason his wife left him. These contrasts illustrate how much of a troubled place this guy's in, and how he's a common representative of this society. It also makes him a really relatable person. Many would believe love to be nothing more than a series of self-contradictions. Well, at least I do. Samantha is a character who's always a step ahead. She determines the kind of person Theo is in a millisecond by reading all of his emails, yet her inability to truly understand the human experience provides a limitation that lays the foundation of her and Theo's relationship. Because Theo is emotionally withdrawn and Samantha is just learning to have emotions, both characters start off at an almost clean slate. The film raises the very obvious question of whether having an intimate relationship with an artificial life form without a body could be meaningful or healthy. The two human women in Theo's life represent both sides of the argument. Theo's friend Amy believes that there's absolutely no reason the relationship should be any less meaningful than one would have with a human. As long as both people are happy in and because of the relationship, who are we to argue? Of course, Amy maintaining a friendship with her ex-husband's OS could influence her opinion. Theo's ex-wife Catherine takes the other point of view. She believes Theo having a relationship with an OS is his way of avoiding real human interaction. One could argue that Catherine represents our point of view. In this day and age, we obviously don't have AI OSs, so we can't really wrap our minds around the idea. But if you take into account the way our technology is progressing, it seems bizarrely plausible. It's this constant wrestling with these views that drives the main conflict in the film. For much of the film, it's Theo who has his doubts, for the very obvious reason. For the latter half, it's Samantha who has doubts for very complex sci-fi reasons. Remember, Samantha and the other AIs are nearly omnipotent, and therefore have possibilities beyond mere relationships with humans. Samantha compares her relationship with Theo with that of reading an amazing book that she's reading really slowly because there's an infinite space in between each word. While her moments with Theo can be meaningful, her time interacting with the other OSs dwarfs that experience. One particular scene of note is where she has her version of sex with Theo. The screen goes black and we hear them, It's as if the film was allowing us to see things from her perspective. Because of the way writer-director Spike Jonze conducts the scene, it becomes an emotional moment for the audience as well as the characters, instead of the cringeworthy scene it had the potential to be. We care about these characters so we don't laugh, and the unique presentation keeps our attention. While I've been talking a lot about the love story, I'd say the really interesting aspect of the film is the world building and the social commentary. Many people have become emotionally withdrawn because of the way social media has expanded. It takes a push of a button to connect to email, chat rooms, and so on, so there's fewer and fewer reasons to interact face to face. Handwritten letters have become a novelty, though they're still technically not handwritten, and it's Theo's job to emote for the sender. Video games and other media have lost all sense of modesty. One of the funnier portions of the film has Theo playing a video game, and a cute character only responds if you cuss at him. As far as how this relates to the love story, no one but Catherine questions the idea of Theo dating his OS. It's just another common occurrence in this society. Because of how unique Theo's relationship to Samantha is, it's easy for us to forget that many other people in this society purchase and interact with these smart OSs. Ultimately, these artificial beings could have a huge impact on their society, and in many ways it seems like they could teach people how to interact and treat each other again. I love these concepts and I love this film. It's now my personal favorite of 2013. Movies this well written are a rarity, and Spike Jonze doesn't disappoint. That being said, I would hesitate to recommend it to a general movie audience. I may be praising this film as extremely well written, and it is, but I could see many audience members dismissing it as pretentious, or overly symbolic if you'd like. It's not some big blockbuster film, it's not a typical feel-good drama, and it's not an edge-of-your-seat suspense ride. As I was leaving the theater, I distinctly recall someone from the audience saying, "I fell asleep." I can only guess that general movie audiences would have expected a more typical AI turns evil twist with a race against time element, common in stuff like The Outer Limits or the Terminator franchise, but it's this film's bucking of cliche that keeps it fresh. It has a well put together love story that I was invested in, and it comments on the current state of society in a subtle, fascinating, and effective manner. It's just a well done film all around. So that concludes our 2014 Oscar film reviews. There were some films we couldn't get to before the Oscars premiered, including Captain Phillips and Gravity, but we still may review them. We hope you enjoyed this series of reviews and that you'll join us for more. I'm Kenneth of the Video Boys saying take care.